Welcome to This Explainer. Now, if you have ever sat there staring at a blinking cursor on a totally blank screen, just feeling completely overwhelmed by all that scary academic jargon, the kind of words that sound like you literally need a PhD just to read them, I want you to take a deep breath. Seriously, relax. Today, we're entirely shifting that perspective. We are going to frame crafting quantitative research titles not as some mysterious academic dark art, but actually as a simple, highly effective plug-and-play blueprint. By the end of our time together today, you're going to see that building the absolute perfect title is really just a matter of following a reliable formula.
Okay, let's dive into it. Here is our master blueprint and the syllabus for today's build. First, we're looking at the core formula. Second, defining your variables. Third, 5 key research designs. And fourth, building your perfect title.
All right, Section 1, the core formula. Let's transition right into the first phase of our blueprint and reveal the ultimate title equation.
Here it is. This is the foundational cheat code to all academic writing. It's a shockingly simple math equation. Look at this. Variable 1 plus a connecting phrase plus variable 2 plus your population. That is literally it. Every strong quantitative title is simply a variation of those 4 interlocking pieces. Now, to make sure you have all these pieces perfectly aligned, your title ultimately has to answer 3 rapid-fire questions for your reader. Let's look at the very first one.
Question 1. What is being studied? This is where you actually identify your core variables. A reader should be able to look at your title and instantly, without a doubt, know exactly what concepts or phenomena you're measuring. Moving fast, question 2. How are they related? This is exactly where your connecting phrase comes in. It determines whether you're looking for a relationship, a difference, an effect, or a prediction. Think of the connecting phrase as the structural bridge between your variables. And question 3 to finish the trio, who is being studied? Adding your population grounds your research in a very specific group. Without this piece, your research just sounds way too vague, or impossibly broad to actually pull off. Section 2, defining your variables. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it kicks off how we start gathering the raw materials for our machine.
To make this whole formula actually work, we need those raw materials. You can visually separate these 2 core ingredients instantly by thinking of them as cause and effect. On the left, you've got the independent variable, which is the cause or predictor, like study habits or, let's be honest, social media usage. Then on the right, the dependent variable is the outcome. It's the thing that actually changes because of the cause, like academic performance or mathematics achievement. Simply put, independent predictors drive dependent outcomes. You absolutely need to clearly identify both of these to have a solid foundation for your title.
The final raw material you need is your specific group of respondents. This could be grade 12 STEM students, senior high school students, public school teachers, or maybe college freshmen. The key here? Locking in a specific group of respondents from a list like this sets clear boundaries, so you aren't out there trying to study the entire planet. Section 3, 5 key research designs. Time to look at the different chassis types for our machine, because how you connect things changes the whole nature of the research.
With our raw materials prepped, this right here is your ultimate cheat sheet moment. Your exact wording directly depends on your research design. If your design is descriptive, you're going to use phrases like level of or extent of. If it's correlational, you'll use relationship between or even just the word and. For comparative, it's difference in. Experimental, go with effect of. And for predictive, you plug in predictors of or influence of. You can literally plug these exact phrases directly into your title formula. Let's quickly flash through each of these patterns.
First up, the descriptive pattern. The formula is simply level of plus your variable plus your population. A perfect example right from our source material is level of financial literacy among grade 12 students. Incredibly straightforward, right? It does exactly what it says. It describes a level or a status. Next is the correlational pattern. The formula here is variable 1 and variable 2 plus your population. Take a look at the example, study habits and academic performance of grade 12 students. So the crucial point is that you don't even need to write the word relationship in the title. Just dropping the word and between your 2 variables implies the correlation, which keeps your title looking super clean and professional.
Keeping the dynamic showcase moving. Here is the comparative pattern. The formula is difference in plus your variable plus between groups. For instance, differences in stress levels between STEM and HUME students. That connecting phrase perfectly sets up the expectation that you are comparing two entirely distinct populations.
Fourth, we have the experimental pattern. This formula focuses on the effect of a treatment on an outcome. A specific, great example of this is the effect of gamified learning on mathematics achievement. You are actively introducing a treatment, in this case, gamified learning, and then measuring its outcome on mathematics achievement.
Finally, to wrap up these rapid-fire design patterns, we have the predictive pattern. The formula is variable or variables as predictors of an outcome, like emotional intelligence as a predictor of leadership skills. You are simply looking at how one factor might forecast another.
Section 4. Building your perfect title. Let's move to and see how this builds. It's time to hit the assembly line and put all these pieces together live.
If you're a beginner at this, I highly recommend walking logically through this beginner strategy. Treat it exactly like a step-by-step recipe. Step 1, choose a topic. Step 2, choose an influencing factor. Step 3, decide the purpose of your study. And Step 4, identify your respondents. Easy enough, right?
Now, let's take those raw materials we just identified and actually prep them for final assembly on the line. For Step 1, our topic is academic performance. Step 2, the influencing factor we choose is study habits. Step 3, our purpose is to find a relationship between those two things. And for Step 4, our respondents will be grade 12 students.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when you follow those 4 steps perfectly. You generate a flawless, professional correlational title, study habits, and academic performance of grade 12 students. You've got your variables, your connecting word and your specific population. It is mathematically precise academic writing at its finest.
But hey, here's where the true power of this plug-and-play system really shines. Let's say you decide you don't just want to find a relationship anymore, you actually want to test an effect. You just swap out the connecting phrase. Suddenly, using those exact same core variables, you instantly create a perfect experimental title, Effective Study Skills Training on Academic Performance of Grade 12 Students. Just one small shift in your connecting phrase changes the entire design and direction of your research.
Let's lock in this core classroom formula one last time, just to be sure. Variable or variables, plus a connecting phrase if you need it, plus your population. You now possess the cheat code to master absolutely any academic title. By understanding your variables and knowing your research design, you can build a clear, incredibly impactful title every single time, completely stress-free.
Which leads us to a pretty provocative final thought. If mastering this formula is truly this simple, if just a single phrase can seamlessly shift your entire academic direction from descriptive to experimental to predictive, then the only real question left isn't how to write your title. The question is, what exactly do you want to discover?